Hello, hopefully, and welcome to the live stream on Hockey with Ice. Now, this has been an unmitigated disaster. We are live. I've had lots of issues in this going live. I've never had any issues with this going live, so I've no idea why it didn't work today. But I was trying, as normal, during the Swedish Hockey League action to do the live stream. During a game, I was going to do Rögle and HV71, which is a big game near the bottom of the table, and then commenting as we went along, but various issues came up. So I thought, okay, let's call it quits. Let's try and get stuff sorted, and then I'll do a roundup after the games have finished. So that's where we are. If you were watching live, so apologies. Looked like there are a couple of people waiting, so apologies that you couldn't see anything. I'll try and just do another chat message just to make sure that's working, because things have not been working. There we go. So hello on the chat. That's a bit of a weird place for it to be. There we go. So yes, so if you are about on the chat, you can get in contact, your thoughts on today's games, what you saw, what you thought was good, if your team won, if your team lost, how you think things are going to go in the final games of the season, because there is plenty of drama tonight, and I can show you that on the table. Not that table, that's an old table. There we go. Here we go. We're rocking and rolling. We're getting somewhere in the end. So, lots to look back on. The key news really comes near the bottom of the table, because it was a big clash between Rögle and HV71, and it went the way of Rögle. So you can see the impact down the bottom there on it all. Malmö won away to Frölunda. They trailed 1-0 and came back and won that one. Moody got a point too. So HV71 now, unfortunately for them, are being not cut adrift, but their life of trying to escape from the relegation playoff against Oskarshamn has just got that little bit harder today. They had a prime opportunity to get a win against Rögle. Hopefully for them, Malmö would lose against Frölunda and suddenly it would all be on, but that's not how it has gone today, unfortunately for them. Let's have a little look if we can, if this is going to work. Yes, here we go. We're finally rocking and rolling. We're finally getting somewhere with the streaming stuff today. So the game I watched live all of the game, and then turned on to some of the others, came from Katina Arena, Rögle against HV71, and it ended up 4-1 to Rögle. This was despite HV71 taking the lead in this one. So let's go through to this page. This is always the best one to have a look on the Swedish Hockey League website. So yes, started 8 minutes into the first period. Fredrik Forsberg with a goal on the power play. HV71 got 3 power plays in the first period. Most of them, or in fact all of them, to the great displeasure of the Rögle crowd. A couple of them did look pretty soft, including the one that Fredrik Forsberg scored on. That was a Rodrigo Arbol's hooking call. It was kind of fair enough. He got a stick in there, but it was a bit of a soft one, really. So Rögle were disappointed with that. But they stormed back in the second period. Goals from Adam Tambellini. Lucas Exel Jonsson, his first for Rögle, and Linus Sandin just took the game away. And of course, you see there, 7:33, 7:53, from 1-0 down to 2-1 ahead in 20 seconds. An absolute killer for HV71. They took a daft penalty at the end of the second period too. It didn't come back to bite them straight away. They were able to kill off a penalty at the start of the third period, but really didn't get anything going. There was one big chance near the end for them, but they really didn't create all that much. Rögle were definitely a worthy winner in this one. And Rögle finished it off, a brilliant finish at Albin Sundqvist. Sundsvik, sorry. Lovely pass to Linus Sjödin. It was going to be a tripping call on him, but he got back onto his skates, fired the puck across to Sundsvik, and he fired it home. Brilliant finish past Fredrik Dickow. So that was 4-1 to Rögle, and a big, big win for them to give them a 10-point gap now to HV71 in that 13th position. So they are in a good position. Still not mathematically clear by any stretch, but on 60 points now. I would say 63 points, that probably makes them safe. So they ideally need one more win from the remaining 6 games. So you would expect them to go on and do that. The other game at the bottom, which for some reason on the SHL website hasn't actually been closed off, but that has gone the way of Malmö. Now, for a brief period, HV71 were celebrating the Gothenburgers doing well because they took a 1-0 lead. Jere Injera gave them a 1-0 lead. Let's go to the details there. 2 minutes 28 into the second period. Assist for Henrik Terminus and Max Friberg. But 4 minutes later, just over 4 minutes later, in fact, Carl Persson, with his 14th goal of the season, got them level, and in the third period, it was all Malmö. Kim Rusdahl gave them a 2-1 lead. Matthias Lassen gave it 3-1, and then Jani Kukkonen, for his 16th goal of the season, made it 4-1. Big win away from home for Malmö, particularly after the disappointment of Malmö Arena on Saturday when they lost to Rögle, to bounce back, come from 1-0 down against Frölunda, and get the win. Big result for them. And we can have a look again at that table. You can see at the bottom there, so HV71, 50 points from their 46 games. Malmö now have a 6-point gap. Certainly not insurmountable for the 13th place team, but that's a nice little cushion. Could have been completely different. If they lose and HV71 win today, then they're level on points, right, on 53. So that's a swing. Murder on 59 points. Rögle then in that final playoff position in 10th. I don't think they're thinking too much about that at the moment. They still need an extra win to make sure they're safe. But that has really strung things out there at the bottom. Not decisively by any stretch of the imagination, but it has. It was a day that HV71 could have made big inroads and they didn't. So we'll see how they respond to that on Thursday night. Let's dig back into the games. And in fact, let's go to the Modo game, because that was an exciting one, how it ended. Didn't go the way of the home team. They lost it 4-3, but that came in a shootout. So they will be happy enough, considering they were 3-1 down in that game, to come back and at least get a point against the second place team. That's not too bad of a result, really. So it started off Carl Topping getting his first goal, having moved from Västerås very recently. He got his first goal for Modo. That gave them a lead. Joachim Blickfeld, with his 16th goal of the season, got them back into it about 5 minutes or so later. Then in the second period, 3 minutes in, Carly Kossler back on the score sheet. Of course, Fekwa missed him for a good 6 weeks or so with injury, but he is back now. 12th goal of the season for him. That gave them a 2-1 lead. They then went 3-1 up, thanks to Marcus Silvergård. Carly Kossler with an assist on that one. But then Sampo Ranta and Josh Dickinson, 2 goals in less than a minute, levelled things up 3 apiece. They did lose the penalty shootout. Marcus Silvergård gets the credit for the game-winning goal. So that's 23 on the season for him. But yes, at least a result that probably neither team are delighted by, but Fekwa at least got 2 points. Disappointed they didn't get all 3. Murdo, disappointed they didn't get more, but still got a point out of a game where they could have got nothing. And at this part of the season, just picking up points here and there can make all the difference. So decent for them to get a result like that at home. And that is something that they will play on as they come to the games on Thursday. The other team down the bottom, similar situation for Lem. Oskarsund lost in overtime against Leksand. However, they were 2-0 down in this one, so they came back and got a point. Of course, they're already in the relegation playoff. That's basically confirmed now. That is mathematically confirmed now. They can't escape that. So, in a sense, not a lot to play for, but they want to try and get some good performances in to raise their confidence over the next couple of weeks before the relegation playoff series comes along. Leksand, 2 goals in just over a minute and a half, or in fact, exactly a minute and a half. Eddie Larsson with his first of the season, and Patrick Narian with the goals there. Lucas Elvenes getting on the assists charts for the first time in a little while. He had that golden period, didn't he, when he was racking up goals and assists for fun. It's been a bit of a dry spell since then, but he got on the sheet there. But then 2 goals in the second period. Marcus Nenonen and Olli Palola levelled it up 2-2. No goals in the third period, but fourth period came along. I was watching this one during overtime, and that man again, Max Foreignu, he got 2 assists on the goals and then scored the winner. Really frustrating one for Oscar Schmidt. It was a terrible turnover in their own zone, and Foreignu made no mistake. Good play by him to steal the puck, but you could see the Oscar Schmidt coach was not very impressed with his team. Gave it away. Foreignu, great finish past ML Cruz, and that's his 15th of the season. 2 assists as well, so a great day for him. And a good win for Leksand. Of course, they were on a 7-game losing streak before Saturday's game, where Max Foreignu scored right near the end to break that streak. He scored the winner again today. So they're in 7th. Let's go back to that table. So they're in 7th. Now we're only 3 points behind Team Raw, and they've got a game in hand and they've got a better goal difference. So top 6 is still on for them. Now, going back even 3 weeks ago, they looked odds on to be top 6. That didn't really seem to be in doubt. That terrible 7-game losing streak pushed them to be looking from the outside, but they're still in the mix. So Linköping aren't clear either. So it's going to be 2 of those 3, isn't it? Linköping, Timor and Leksand for that final spot. Luleå potentially could get there, but they're running out of games with 6 games to go. So I think you're really looking at 2 from 3 in Linköping, Timor and Leksand for the last 2 quarter-final places, if you want to call them that, in the top 6. So let's have a look at those 2 teams. So Linköping lost 6-3 against league leaders Färjestad. Big win for them. A frustrating one for Linköping. So 6 goals in the first period, as you can see, as we scroll down to get to those. Marcus Fresvold gave them a lead in 2 goals pretty quickly for Linus Holmström to get them ahead. So a big turnaround in that one early. Carl Dahlström, Mikael Linkvist and David Tomaszek scored the goals to put them up 4-2. Tomaszek, that's his 25th of the season. And look at that nice period for Carl Dahlström. His first goal of the season, then 2 assists. Good stuff for him. Third period came along, so no goals in the second period. 6 goals shared out in the first period, no goals in the second. Anthony Greco brought them to within 1 goal. So 4-3 thanks to Anthony Greco. But then look at that, 13 seconds later, and Liam Ergren puts them back ahead and gives them a 2-goal cushion once again. Really sloppy from Linköping to give up a goal, having worked so hard to get back in it, to get within 1 goal of the league leaders, to concede after 13 seconds is a shocker. Then Mikael Linkvist secured the win with a goal. His 11th of the season, so that is a good 6-3 win on the road for Färjestad. Disappointing day for Linköping to let that game slide. They had the opportunity to really dig into that and get back into it with Greco's goal, but conceding a goal 13 seconds after that one just killed them off. In terms of Team Raw, they took a penalty shootout loss, so frustration for them against Örebro. 2 points again. Jonathan Lekri-Murky, he scored the opening goal. He's been in outstanding form of late, the last 7 games or so. He's racking up the points. So 17th goal of the season for him. Right at the end of the first period, Tim Eriksson got Team Raw back level. Second period, Oliver Eklund put Örebro back in front. 6 minutes into that one, Axel Rindell equalised 2-2 in the third period. So it went through overtime. Nobody scored there, so it went to the penalty shootout. And it is Jonathan Lekri-Murky who gets credit for the game-winning penalty. So 18 goals on the season for him. And that is a winner for Örebro. So that is a 3-2 win for them. That's pretty much all of them. Luleå did get a win. Again, this is one which for some reason on the SHL website is not actually showing as complete, even though it is. So a good win in a derby game, big game for Luleå. They've been in such patchy form of late, haven't they? So this was an important one for them to win. They're still in with an outside shot of getting in the top 6. I think they're not playing well enough, consistently enough to make me confident to think that they'll be able to do that. But win today gives them an opportunity. 6 minutes 40 into the game, Oskari Laaksonen gave them the lead. Einar Emanuelsson right near the end with empty netter to make it 2-0. So disappointing for Skellefteå. 6-game winning streak comes to an end for Lem, and against the team they really wouldn't want for it to go against. But there we go. They're still comfortably in third place. Have we looked at Moodoo? Yes, we have. I think the only game... No, we've looked at all of them. I'm pretty sure we've looked at all of them, haven't we? Östersund, Leksand, Frölunda, Malmö, Linköping, Färjestad, Moodoo, Växjö, Timrå, Örebro, Luleå, Skellefteå. I think that's pretty much all of them. Okay, so there we are. So, top of the table, 6-point gap for Färjestad at the top, although they do have... they have played an extra game, so Växjö have a game in hand on them, so they can draw within 3 points of them. But there we go, Färjestad in a really good position. Skellefteå, Frölunda, Linköping all lost today. Timrå lost on the penalty shootout in overtime, so they got a point, but closed up a little bit. It does look like there's a top 4 and then the rest. So top 4 and then Linköping, Timrå and Leksand battling for the final 2 top 6 spots. Luleå comfortably in the playoffs, but you get the feeling they feel they should have been doing a bit better than that. Maybe they can go on a run from here and capitalise on that 2-0 win over Skellefteå. Maybe that can kick them on and they can power into the playoffs in really good form. Örebro picking up of late, went through a really bad spell, but they've been picking up of late, and that's good for them. Rögle, big win, gives them that 10-point gap to HV Hertiet. So that's where we are in terms of the table. And now we can look ahead to the games taking place on Thursday. So there's games going on in the Hockeyallsvenskan tomorrow. And then we have the games on Thursday. So starting off, fingers crossed, everybody. Double fingers crossed. There we go. Skellefteå against Rögle. Could be a really good game. But there's a bit of an issue there. So there is an issue at the Skellefteå Craft Arena. There's been snow in the area, a lot of snow. There is a problem with the roof at the arena, which when there's a lot of snow on it, causes problems. So the people aren't allowed in the main arena at the moment. They're trying to clear the snow off the arena so that it can be safe for people to go in there. The game hopefully won't be in doubt, but there is an issue at the moment. It's not guaranteed the game's going to go ahead. And of course, there's not a lot of time to make it up if it doesn't. But hopefully that one goes ahead because that could be a really good game. Skellefteå trying to bounce back after seeing their 6-game winning streak ended. Well, Rögle trying to build on their big wins against Malmö and now against HV Hertiet. Can they make it another win to really secure their status in the SHL to keep themselves out of that relegation zone? And of course, if they do that, they're then pushing on. They're in the playoffs and who knows, maybe they could really turn it around. It hasn't really happened for them after the sacking of the Abbott brothers. But they seem to be moving in the right direction. We'll see. Next up, Leksand in 7th, trying to push on today after winning in overtime. They take on Frölunda, who took the loss against Malmö. Örebro against Luleå, so that's an interesting one. 2 teams kind of in and around each other. Can Luleå build on their win over Skellefteå and kick on from there? We'll see. HV Hertiet, big game for them. They're all big for HV Hertiet. Right now, you feel like they have to beat Moodoo tomorrow on Thursday to have a chance. Husqvarna Garden was packed on a game on Saturday, which they won 2-1. So can they bring that home crowd into it? Maybe they can, but they really need a win there, don't they? Växjö, 2nd place, they take on Linköping. And then here's another interesting one. At the Malmö Arena, Malmö Redhawks hosting Oskarshamn. So Oskarshamn playing for pride, really playing to build some confidence ahead of the relegation playoff. This is a huge opportunity for Malmö, having beaten Frölunda today. If they can get a win against Oskarshamn, and especially if HV Hertiet lose their game against Moodoo, that would make it 9 points of a gap with 5 games to go from there. So that would be really important. But it's a big game for Malmö because that looks a very winnable one for them. Of course, as you would have seen on hockeywithice.uk, as I did my Swedish Hockey League roundup on Sunday evening, Malmö and HV71 meet on the final day of the regular season. So 2 weeks today, 2 weeks on Tuesday. Could that be decisive? I mean, that would be incredible drama for us neutrals. Horrible, probably, for the fans to have to sit through. But the way it's going so far, maybe things will be decided before then. But Malmö, big opportunity for them to get 3 points and to really start a position where HV71 are just running out of time to get out of trouble, but we will see. So there we go. I will be, fingers crossed that things work properly on Tuesday. I will be doing a live stream during the games. What I tend to do with these sort of matchups where it's all the teams playing, I normally start UK time about 6:40, 6:45, so 7:40, 7:45 in the evening. So in the intermission period between the first and second periods, that gives me a bit more time after work, and also I could just keep up on things and get myself ready. I'm never normally ready anyway, but as ready as I ever be before I get cracking. So not sure which one I'll join. I mean, Skellefteå Rögle is an intriguing one if it goes ahead, but at the same time, I've looked at Rögle the last 2 match days, so maybe I need to go for another one. HV71 Modo, that's a big game at Husqvarna Gardens. Malmö, Oskarshamn, that's a big game, so maybe that one. One of those 2 I think I'll start with, but I'll let you know in the title. Don't forget to follow along. Both on the YouTube channel, Hockey with Us, and click subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live, but also on the Twitter and Instagram at Hockey with Ice. I'll be tweeting and posting photos as per usual on there, and on hockeywithice.uk, where we will be doing a roundup of all things coming up. But that is the situation we are in now. Färjestad riding high. Not definitely won the regular season league just yet, but they're in a good position at the other end. Big win for Rögle. 4-1 today against HV71. That's a 10-point gap they've established over that 13th place. Is that them out of it now? Probably so. HV71, though, they've got Modo on Tuesday. It's obvious. Just look at that table. If Modo win that, they go 12 points clear of HV71. With 5 games to go. That's not happening, right? So it's now or never for HV71. They wanted to do it today against Rögle. They didn't. So it's now or never for that Thursday game against Modo. They've got to win it. At Husqvarna Gardens, they've got to win it. Let's see if they can. Whilst Malmö, if they can get a win against Oskarshamn, yeah, they start pulling away, don't they? But we shall see. Should be good. It's been a bit of a nightmare of an evening getting that live stream going previously, but there we are. It's all practice, it's all fun. It's been a really good evening of Swedish Hockey League action, I have to say. I watched the Rögle HV game, was really good. Then a couple of penalty shootouts, and then I turned it over to the Leksand game, seeing them win. So that was a lot of fun. Let's see what we get in the Hockeyallsvenskan tomorrow, and then back at it on the Thursday. So about 6:40 UK time, 7:40 PM. Swedish time, Central European time, we will be live streaming on Thursday, probably the HV71 Modo game, and we shall see what happens. Until then, thanks for watching. If you've been watching live, if you're watching this on repeat, I do want to start doing more of these roundup videos as we come across them, as we come to the end of the Swedish Hockey League season. So 6 games left for most of the teams, and then going into the playoffs. I saw the full playoff schedule, the full matchups, or what would be the matchups, the dates when every game would be. That was on the SHL website a couple of days ago, and yeah, it's an absolute feast of hockey, isn't it? It goes into May, so lots to look forward to, isn't there? But we will have to wait for the next instalment on Thursday. Join me then. Thanks for watching. Do stick some comments in below if your favourite team had a good day today or a bad day, and what you're looking forward to on Thursday. And I shall see you on Thursday evening for some more Swedish Hockey League action. Until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon.